Hello, I'm FJX and welcome back to an episode of my Minecraft Xbox Updated Adventures Let's Play. This is the Let's Play where I'm playing through the various updates that have come out for Minecraft on the Xbox, building stuff, killing stuff, and of course, destroying stuff. And in today's episode, I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of a construction project, because part of the main point of today's video is actually to prove a big point that a lot of people don't necessarily know about, so maybe this will save you. If, let's say, you're in a situation where you die maybe, thousands of blocks away from spawn, maybe hundreds of thousands of blocks away from spawn, then this piece of advice will really help you out, because what you might not know about Minecraft is that you have a 5-minute timer to get your stuff back when you die, but that only counts blocks which are actually inside of chunks which are loaded into the game. When a chunk isn't loaded, Minecraft doesn't keep that counter going, and I'm still not sure if that's intentional behavior or a glitch, but it means that even if you die, again, let's say 93,000 nether blocks or 720,000 overworld blocks away from your spawn, it means that you still have a chance of getting your stuff back. And I want to prove that point today as a really handy tip to you. I'm going to be showing you not all of my stuff, I'm not going 90,000 blocks, but I'll go some good portion of that, and along the way, one of the things I intend to do is work on this big pathway right here, because a lot of people were confused. Again, so in case you're curious, I lost my stuff, over 8 hours of in-game game time now, and over 2 days of real-life time from when you're watching this video. But yeah, the reason that during the entire stream, the 9 hours I put into getting where I got to, and the reason it's going to be so hard to get back, the reason I was doing that is because I want to have this huge pathway going for the nether. Making a really consistent straight line is great for a lot of reasons. One is it just, in my opinion, I like the look of this. Like, look, I have tamed the nether and made a giant tunnel, but the more important ones, besides entirely on the surface see-through levels, are the fact that, honestly, it's much faster to just run through the nether. You can leave your controller on, or you can leave your keyboard, or you can leave, I don't know if you can leave a phone, like, touchscreen, but, you can leave your device off input method, just going forwards, and it will eventually get you there, which is, kind of fun and cool on the surface. And yeah, basically, that's why I want a big, huge tunnel, and I eventually want it to go to 1,000,000 blocks in the end. And this was just the first part of that mega project, which will slowly come to being bit by bit. So just keep that in mind as we go forwards. And now let's use that said to talk about the first thing I wanted to say, which is the fact that when you destroy blocks, they remain unloaded, they remain floating there until you go near them, and then the 5-minute timer continues to count down. And a lot of people hear that and they say, I'm not sure about that one, you sure, Toycat? And that's where today's video comes in. So while we make a bunch of stone bricks, because I brought a lot of stone with me, which I have in chests, which we'll be working on just to, continue on the dream. Even if we've died, the dream is not dead, and that is, I think that's something always important to remember, oh, I can't place blocks there because there's a mushroom. But I think that's something always important to remember, real life, outside Minecraft. Wherever, you have situations where it's like, something bad has happened, now it's over. It's never usually over. Like, one of the more, I guess a helpful little, tip you can keep in your mind is the fact that, everyone who's ever achieved something is human and has made just as many human mistakes as you, maybe more, I think this is something that I can never really, grasp in my own head, even though it's a piece of advice I really like. It's a piece of advice that can help you endlessly. It's never something that I've been able to properly get my head over that, everyone who's ever achieved something, every, big president, every inventor, because, presidents aren't really doing much, they're more figureheads, but, anyone who's ever done some great thing that you're like, wow, imagine inventing the car. Some dude one day was just like, yeah, what if we utilize the fumes from this magic engine thing, and then it just, magically makes some stuff happen, and boom, now everyone drives around like that. Every big human in history has had the same struggles as you, where one day they're like, I don't want to get out of bed, so I'm just not gonna. Or at least I think everyone since, the modern bed history age, because I'm sure at one point in time, beds were so uncomfortable that you'd just be like, this is made of, goose feathers and rubbish, and it just makes me uncomfortable. I actually had a mattress like that when I was younger. It's just a mattress made of, I don't know what it's called, filling, but it was it was a rough mattress. I dug inside there once and I was like, who makes this? Who buys this? Anyway, so we're getting close to where you can see there'll be some stuff on the ground, or at least where you should see. I mean, theoretically, I'd be down to accept that I'm wrong. This video title can go from, Let's Play 376 to, man discovers not only has he lost all his stuff, but also he's wrong about one of the fundamental mechanics of Minecraft. But you can see, as we're at 1,000 blocks forwards, This is, you know, the known realm of Minecraft. This is where I traveled before yesterday's stream, but just after 1,000 blocks, just after this big gap right here, I think. Oh no, it's just after another big gap. You'll see how, like, that's where the new era, the stuff I dug all in one stream, and you'll see on the ground a bunch of netherrack. The netherrack being on the ground proves something, because even though the netherrack isn't something valuable, it's not something you care about getting back, it is something that you dropped on the ground, and then I left it, I went forwards, and, you know, like, eventually I'm coming back to it, and that's why when I eventually do go back, I'll see just on the ground everywhere, oh, there is a bunch of that stuff. And because I don't have any Elytra, which I'm, you know, you'd figure by now I'd have learned better than to assume I have an Elytra. What you'll see real soon is a little bit of proof of that. So, yeah, let's, I'm hoping that happens at least. So, with that said though, let's talk about what I've been up to in the past week, because a lot of people love the Let's Play, not as just a, you know, a Let's Play, which, I mean, is a quite old format on YouTube, but it's like a, you know, like, say, hey Cat, what have you been doing in the past, you know, like 30 days or so. I mean, 7 days or so since the last Let's Play. And the last Let's Play, by the way, was one of my favorite things I did. Again, so many people were a little bit rolled up about that one. Like, my God, Toy Cat, why are you, you know, like, I knew it was a bad idea as I went into it, but I also figured, you know, I might as well have a bit of fun. And that's one of the great things about YouTube. Like, having fun is surprisingly easy, and it seems as though people are receptive. Like, lately what I've been doing is, like, mixing up everything with that same basic concept, just like, you know what, let's make this one a little bit more, like, less narrow-focused, more, like, have some fun with it. And people have been responding well to, like, you know, the video about things you used to build and stuff like that. So, in general, the YouTube stuff's been going well. I've been having, again, even if it's not, like, maybe the most ideal content for everyone at every time, I've been having a lot of fun with it, and that's the main thing that counts, right? Or at least that's the thing everyone says counts. But I mean, the main thing that counts is, like, being able to continue doing the thing that I love to do. Also, this is really dangerous to take all my stuff along a really tight, narrow pathway while there is a ghast trying to knock me off it. I feel like this has a lot of ways this can go wrong. But let's ignore those for now. I guess it was about over 2,000 blocks I've been in the old realm of things. But you'll see, as soon as we start getting to the other stuff, it'll be destroyed and it'll be like, oh, that's what things used to be like. And then we'll make it look way more high-tech, because instead of having narrow bridges with a single block wide, we'll have like 3 block wides with walls and ceilings to stop ghast attacking and almost killing us each time. It's scary, it's loud, no one likes these noises. Literally, I swear, one of the worst things about Minecraft in Bedrock is the ghast noises. They're being fixed in the holiday update, which is super soon. I was considering, again, that's something I want to talk about a little bit. See that? I stopped to eat, and now, like, my entire life was at risk just there. Anyway, so we're at the danger zone, the loud zone, the everything zone, and I want to mention that, yeah, like, in general, had a good week. I went to watch the new Ralph Racket movie. It's not called Wreck-It Ralph, it's called, like, Ralph Breaks the Internet. And I was like, you know, that's a solid thing. And I watched it at such an ideal time during the week. I watched it like 2 p.m. on a Wednesday or something, 7 days after it came out. It was literally me and 2 other people, and it was great, you know, like, something like sometimes I went to the bathroom and I was the in-person watching, and in my opinion, that's like the ideal experience. It's not only cheaper, usually, when you go midweek, but it's also less crowded and a better experience. I love that there are some things that you can pay less for and get a better experience than people who pay more. Again, as someone who I guess is, you know, like, as someone who doesn't like being in busy places with these people, a lot of people, that's their thing, you know, like, oh, I love when a restaurant feels crowded, and it's like, no, that's the opposite of a good thing. Like, feeling like you're squeezed in a room, and if there's a fire alert, then everyone's gonna die. That is the opposite of a good time to me. But, you know, that's some people's favorite things. So yeah, I did a few, like, less crowded things this week because of just how my life schedule lined up, and it was just a reminder of, like, you know, it's December's the busier time of year. For me at least, I'm inside a lot more, I record a lot more videos, have a lot more fun as well, but it's when I'm, like, busiest, if that's a thing you can accept. Okay, this is the last point in my destruction, so you'll finally see it now. I know I've been stringing along with tales about my day. In case you're just watching this the first time, you're like, man, when does Toycat get to the destroyed netherrack? But we're finally here at about 2,500 blocks. It's a new tunnel I've never been in before, or have been in once, and that was for video on Saturday. It was Saturday morning, 11 a.m, so we're talking almost 3 days ago now. There is some gold nuggets on the floor. If you watch that video, you might see me throwing them on the ground. And then if we go further through this tunnel, because obviously we've got some more glass bottles, how would this have got there unless I threw it down on the ground before this video started? There's just me in the world. It's there because it's an unloaded chunk. I can even go this way as much, so like thousands of blocks this way, and I'll keep finding netherrack and stuff like that. So just over here, we see some netherrack because of the fact that, you know, it's in unloaded chunks. The chunks aren't loaded, and therefore, in case you're curious, you're like, man, Toycat sucks losing all that stuff. The stuff isn't all the way lost yet. Where did that gas even come from? The stuff is not all the way lost yet. The stuff still has a chance. And the reason the stuff still has a chance is because of the fact that, I'm not going to load those chunks until I'm ready to fly through those chunks as fast as I can and save as much of my stuff as possible. It's going to be a big rescue effort. Again, I intend to actually get the million block challenge achieved, and that's going to be a thing. Side note, so I think that's actually my biggest, like, work or personal thing, you know, let's call this work, but, you know, that's my biggest thing, I think, across anything that I've done this past week, the big million block, you know, the challenge was kind of big and fun, but also, I streamed for 9 hours in a row. That is my record by such a wide margin. Like, even previous 4-hour streams, I've had to be like, okay, we're gonna calm down, we're gonna, you know, like, everyone just, like, chillax for a bit. This is gonna be chill time with Toycat as the stream, you know, rather than anything else. But in this last stream, I streamed for 9 hours, and although there was a little bit of that, especially at the end, where, you know, my brain was like, I can't anymore, I don't want to, I'm not going to, for the most part, I'd say the first, like, 7 or 8 hours were actually pretty solid. I had a good time doing them, and I think that's a good sign in general. Like, you know, I didn't think I could do something like that, because my brain kind of shuts down. Like, I can't be social for more than a couple of hours at a time, but the fact that I could do, like, a YouTube live stream for that long, I'm proud of me for. I think I did a good job. Obviously, this is just me congratulating myself, so I won't do it too much. But what I will say is I think it broke me. Again, people don't appreciate that, like, you know, for a lot of people, they would love to have, you know, this thing of, like, wouldn't it be great to just talk for 9 hours? But to me, you know, that sounded like an idea of hell. And we had fun because, you know, I guess we could talk about a lot of different things that you don't get in a normal conversation, which I think a lot of people appreciate. But one of the things about it that was a little bit, let's say a little bit hellish, was the fact that afterwards, I didn't probably appreciate just how, like, broken you know, that part of my brain was. Because I went to the store, and, no, I went to go get, like, some ice cream. There was ice cream on sale, so I went to pick it up. And I was like, okay, gonna pick this up. I then bought a few other things from the store, and then it turned out I didn't buy that ice cream at all. I bought an entirely different one. I didn't look at the tub. In my head, I was so clear that I was buying the tub of the one that was on sale. It was only £2.50 for Ben and Jerry's. If you like your Ben and Jerry's, it was the Euphoria flavors, if you know those. And it was like, man, this is good stuff. I'm excited for that. But I just picked up a regular full size tub, and you know, I know most people it's like, wow, you lost £2.50 there. That's, you know, that's not the biggest concern. Although to me, it's still like, it's not ideal. Would rather not lose £2.50, you know, because I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't on sale. But the big thing to me is the fact that, like, I was so sure I had that tub in my hand. I picked it up from the shelf and then didn't think twice, but I just had the wrong thing, and it's like, that's like a sign of something bad. I feel like that's not a good, you know, that's not regular level clumsiness. That's the sort of clumsiness where you can, like, kill people and think like, well, you know, I'm going to the park today, having a good day, and it turns out, like, you're actually murdering people. You know, that's not good. I like my perception of reality to be 100%, not 99% or 98%. So, yeah, personally, a little bit terrified by the whole concept, and, yeah, it's a little bit scary when you feel like your brain is disintegrating, because your brain is the thing that reacts to your brain, like, falling to... So, in case you're curious, like, that's not just a one-time thing. It happened, like, a few times this week, not with the exact same situation, but, like, there's a few different things where I was sure I had something in my hand, and then I didn't. Like, I accidentally mixed up spoons, I've done, like, a different bunch of different plate things, and it's like, man, this is a sign I need to chill on that talking. Because immediately after the 9-hour stream, the next day I did a 4-hour stream, that was yesterday, and today, I think I want to do a stream, even though, it's, again, I'm not sure what the exact situation on, like, is this the thing that's slowly killing part of my brain? But I don't know for sure. So, yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about that. If you've experienced this before, let me know. Is it entirely normal? Or is this a sign that, like, you know, something is, some wires have been cross-strung and it's not okay? Because, you know, a lot of decisions I make sometimes, like, I feel my body die on a regular basis. So this morning, I had porridge for breakfast. I use a lot of maple syrup in my porridge, like half maple syrup, half porridge. Makes it taste a lot better than just, like, oats. If you like oats for breakfast, I'm sorry, it's not a fun breakfast. But what is fun is maple syrup for breakfast. And we're just gonna knock the pigman off this, just because it's just dangerous to leave him on here. Okay, or maybe not. Apparently he can stay on there. But So yeah, if you have experience of that, let me know. If you have experience of eating porridge for breakfast and you actually like it, let me know so I can call the police on you and let them know that there's a serial killer watching this video. But no, more seriously, I would say, yeah. And then I had like some sorbet. Someone on yesterday's stream said like, oh yeah, so you can actually make sorbet really easily. So instead of going to get sorbet, I went to get like sorbet ingredients, and it is really easy to make sorbet as it turns out, or like relatively easy if we're gonna be entirely fair with ourselves. And that was like a mind-blowing revelation piece. I was like, we're gonna make some sorbet, and rather than actually making sorbet, I just made some weird fruit sugar liquid that's way too much sugar compared to anything else, and just had that for breakfast. And then my body kind of shut down and was like, okay, this is too much sugar. You're just drinking sugar syrup down here at the bottom. But side note, sugar is one of the best inventions in the world. You might think sugar's not a very good taste by itself, but that's because it's so grainy. If you like sugar but don't like sugar, you know, like in sugar form, try sugar with like a little bit of fruit juice mixed in, and it's like, it tastes like the bottom of like a nice drink or a nice something. Big fan. Will die. Probably increase my diabetes chance each time I drink one. But it's good stuff. It's like lemonade. You know what makes lemonade really, really good? It's just lemon juice, like literally squeezed lemons and sugar. When I first discovered that, it's like, okay, so now I can make the tastiest, least healthy drink in the world, and all I need is like one of the most basic ingredients. I really need to learn where there are and are not gaps for me to fall through. But that's a thing we can work out as we go onwards. So yeah, this is the intention, by the way, to have like a huge pathway like this, going all the way through the Nether. And the reason I want it is because I just feel like being able to transport this far, this fast, would be great. I could bring a horse with me, for instance. That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of fun. Because the horse doesn't take up any hunger. So you could literally press forwards and leave it, or at least look at it every now and then. And you could transport 1 million blocks super, super fast, because horses are much faster than people. It's a good thing. So that's why I want it to be 3 blocks tall, 3 blocks wide. That's big enough for a horse, as I understand horses, at least. I mean, maybe I misunderstand them, but, you know, that's their general size. And, yeah, that's why it's kind of an obsessively big target. Oh, there's the ghast, by the way. Look at him. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's why we're not over here, because that ghast is terrifying, makes loud noises. In general, not a good thing. But yeah, to go back to my original point, though, the really weird thing that, like, I've been trying to, like, properly wrap my head around is, like, you know, everyone is human, too. I've made a lot of big mistakes, I would say. Or, like, I feel like I'm making a lot of, like, big and tiny mistakes. Especially when you're a YouTuber, they're, like, always... There's a magnifying glass? A magnoscope, I was going to say. There's a magnifying glass on you at all times, because, you know, enough YouTubers have done enough shady things that people are kind of, like, rooting for YouTubers to fail. Like, at least a decent number of people. So it's like, people are always there, like, looking for something, you know, to scrutinize, to criticize, or whatever. And it's kind of, scary on the one hand. Like, oh, man, that's a big thing. Oh, God, man. Okay, you know, I really cannot trust myself to just stay on the same track here. But, yeah, so, and then, like, so that it's easy enough for that to happen. And, so, like, personally, I spend a lot of my time being like, man, is this 3 blocks or 2? It seems like it's not tall enough for me and a horse. We should really check if, like, a horse can fit under 3 blocks. Because I feel like it might suffocate me or the horse to do this. So maybe it's better to leave this open-aired. But I'm going to place the blocks anyway, because apparently we've already committed, so there's no going back now. But yeah, so basically, I've been, really, like, you know, I had a super bad morning. I'm like, man, what am I? Like, why do I think I have the right to do anything, about anything if I can't even, like, I woke up really, really early, 8 a.m. And this is the first time I've woken up early in a while and been like, yeah, I'm ready for today. I'm excited. There's a bunch of good videos I'm looking forward to record today, which will be edited and hopefully uploaded over the next few, like, if we can get them done or whatever. But, you know, like, so I was really hyped for that. I was like, yeah, let's do this. Then I have all that sugar and my body kind of shuts down. And then I just, like, kind of have a nap just to get, like, the sugar out of my system. I don't know about, like, anyone else, but, like, the way my body works is I put too much sugar in the system and everything just kind of crashes. I have to nap and then and then I wake up 2 hours later feeling bad. And it's like, okay, now I'm ready to really begin the day. So I woke up early, got a bit less sleep, but it means but personally, I know this is a unhealthy way to look at life, but the less sleep you get, the more life you get. That's literally what it is. Like, you can trade life for sleep. It's like how you can trade, if you work a job which you're not happy with, you're trading time for money, right? That's a fact that's true. I mean, everyone's trading time for money, but, like, you're trading it more literally the less you enjoy your job, because it's not good time versus bad time. So, you know, you can trade time for money, you can trade, you know, I like your future health for money in a bunch of different ways. And one of the things you can do is you can trade sleep for money, or your, you know, life for money. You can, oh sorry, yeah, you know, you can trade, you know, life for sleepiness. Like, if you take away some of your life, you'll get, you know, that tiredness bar will go away. And it's kind of interesting because it means that, like, the longer you stay awake, the more discomfort you'll have, but the more life you'll have too. So everyone has their own threshold of, like, where's the comfort life balance. And I don't think there's any real healthy balance to be found there. There's always going to be some questionability of, like, why did you pick this versus that? But personally, I find it to be an interesting concept, if nothing else. Like, oh yeah, so some people do trade lives in weird ways. What is the scoop of that? But yeah, so by the way, we did prove some blocks from the ground already, right? So we've shown that that's what it's like over there. And you can see how if I can walk 2,000 blocks in just the course of today's video, and then walk the 2,000 blocks back, then it'll be really easy to go back to my stuff at 90,000. It just takes 45 times the length of this video, which, I mean, is actually an underestimation, because if I walked, I'd have to walk around like I did before, which is why, you know, like, the tunnels I've made are going to be so helpful. And the reason they're at minus 1173, by the way, is because this is where I need to make the tunnel. This is where I started it. This is where I'll finish it. But the other thing that I wanted to kind of say is that, like, you know, sometimes, you know, like, having that trade-off is a really interesting one, because some people, you know, like, bears hibernate. They lose, like, months of the year just to get, like, they're unpleasant months, like, when you can't really eat anyway. So they just hibernate. A few other animals hibernate too. And this is actually something you get in humans. It's super, super rare. Like, it's a 1 in a... Oh, it's less than 1 in a million, I want to say. It's very, very, very rare. But there's something called sleeping beauty disorder, where your body basically hibernates every day. When you go to sleep and then you don't wake up for 22 hours, you have 2 hours of awake time, and then you're asleep again. And there's something kind of cool about the concept. So again, I want to clarify, it's actually, like, awful, because you have to eat so much in those 2 hours. You have to deal with all of your life in 2 hours a day, as opposed to, you know, the average life is 16, 15, 17 hours a day. So it's kind of a weird concept, being like, yeah, so instead of having all of the hours we normally have, what if instead you had 2? You have to fit, like, all of your interactions. You have to keep your friends going. It's actually a bad thing. It lasts for weeks. It's interesting, in my opinion, because they have, like, the craziest end of that trade-off. Like, waking up from a 22-hour nap, I can't even imagine how cozy that feels. I mean, obviously it doesn't when it's your life. But, like, as a one-time event, like, it must be like, oh, wow, that's the whole thing. But then they witness the other side of that trade-off, you know, like, their life is temporarily gone for days or hours at a time. I am really nervous we'll get knocked off the edge here. But, you know, worse things have happened. Better things have happened, too. But, you know, that's a terrible phrase for that very reason. Anyway, so now you know, the comeback is going to happen. I need to get the mending book, which I might be streaming before this video goes up, which will be confusing. But I need to get the mending book. Once I have the mending book, we can officially go on our giant tour. The only other thing I need is to get a bunch of creepers killed, which actually, you know, let's try and do a bit of that. Oh wait, we've got a long way back home. Let's try and get home today, and then we can do it there. So, we've now proved in today's video, definitively, I would say, that you can get stuff back no matter where it is, as long as you don't go near it. As long as you don't go near it between when it drops on the ground and when you want to collect it off the ground, you can leave stuff on the ground pretty much permanently. I've left Nevrac on the ground for months, come back for it and been like, wow, okay, this is still here. It's a weird experience, but it's one that can happen. So even if it takes me months to get this mending book, which it won't, I'll be very aggressively fishing for it in future streams, and also trading for it, ideally. But no matter how long or how hard it will be to get this done, it's something I want to do. So now you know. Now you know the plans on that one. Because until I get that stuff back, my Minecraft life is a little bit destroyed. I can't properly do most of the things I want to do. Like, today's stream was easy. I was just placing blocks. If I want to destroy blocks, it's like, oh, but I don't have my best stuff. If I want to, you know, like, there's so many things I just can't do in the same way. It breaks my heart. It's not a good thing. But an easy way to fix that, one of the best ways to fix that, is going to be to go get my stuff back. Which is what I actually intend to do. So now you know, and also you know about sleeping beauty disorder, where like, so I guess we do all trade sleep time or whatever. Even if you think like, oh man, this person is untouchable. Think about your idol in the world, like, man, I don't know, Neil Armstrong, or like Elon Musk, or like, you know, any billionaire, or anyone you just admire in the world. I don't care who or what it is. They also struggle with like, man, I don't want to stop sleeping right now. They also have to eat 3 times a day. They have to you know, take themselves away from their work, and they have to eat, which is, by the way, pro tip, if you haven't eaten it yet today, go eat. It's a good thing for you and for me. Well, I mean, it's not good for me for you to eat, but it's good. I would prefer it that you eat because, you know, let's be honest, if you die, I'll have one less subscriber, and, you know, I'm just... But no, I hope you maybe got something, maybe learned something in today's video, because, again, the core message is really... it's one that I always hear people say, but it never resonates with me. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know if today's message has resonated with all of you. And, you know, I guess, statistically speaking, for most of you, it probably hasn't. You're like, I get it, soy cat, you're old, you're going to die one day, you know, don't be a drag on the rest of us because of that. I'm not even sure, like, why or what someone would be saying there. But, the basic point that I did want to kind of get across and say and make sure was definitively out there was just the kind of point of like, oh yeah, so, you know, the truth is, the real talk here is that sometimes everything feels broken, sometimes everything feels great, and one of the interesting parts of the human experience is going between those two extremes. And not going through those extremes is actually worse for you, I would say, in some ways. If you think about, like, I've always said this about, like, being rich, like, really, really rich, generationally, must suck because you've just always had the best stuff. If you want to have a steak and you're a billionaire, like family, and you don't mind spending it, it's like you have the very best steak available to mankind. When you get older and you get, like, you start working hard, you start enjoying the fruits of your labor, you can still just afford that exact same steak. Maybe in a better circumstance because you get the choice, the control. Because being wealthy, you don't really have money, you have access to money if you, you know, be the ideal son or the ideal wife or the ideal whatever. That's the interesting reality of how it works. So I've always thought in the same way that, like, you know, if you want to really enjoy, you know, anything, sometimes just, like, realizing you don't have it is a good way to go through that. And I think sanity is on that level as well. As ridiculous as this is to say, you know how people always say, like, just be thankful you're in good health. It's like, no, good health is a given. It's I'm not, you know, that's a silly thing. But, like, when you go through something where your mind feels like it's broken, when it finally pieces itself back together, it's such a good moment. And I've had this with many circumstances that we won't describe on this YouTube channel for various reasons. But, like, I have literally felt like I am not a human that is alive anymore on several occasions. And it's kind of cool when you come back from that and it's like, yeah, we're back. I'm a person. I'm going to live forever. Or I'm going to live some good amount of time, one hopes. So with that said, actually, should we quick check? Because it doesn't take me too long to go get my horse. Oh, no, it does, because I don't have my elytra. But we could go check if this works on the horse. I think that's a good next goal. So that's a thing I'm going to do. But for now, you have seen one of the big projects I'm going to continuously work on, with or without my stuff. Obviously, I much prefer the with my stuff than the without my stuff. But that all comes from when I get this mending enchantment. So that is why I am fishing so much in Minecraft. I am determined to do this. And I think sometimes, in the same way that, like, not having something makes you appreciate it more when you eventually have it again, or when you never had it in the first place. Having something the first time is so much better than having had it your whole life. I think in a similar vein, I would say that really working for something, really going for a lot of effort and pain and joy or whatever, is kind of a growing experience. I'm not sure what the term would be, but it's something that does make you appreciate things more. And appreciation is something you don't appreciate until you do it for the first time. I almost nailed that into a perfect end sentence. Should we try again? You don't appreciate appreciation until appreciation appreciates you. That probably makes sense. Yep, that's going to be good for today. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you all understand why it's a bit of a different one to normal. We don't really have much of the stuff in the survival world. I do still intend to work on the survival world, all the big projects inside it. The world still will be up for download in like a month or two, as soon as I've finished a few major projects that I want to do before I'm comfortable selling it out to the world. And yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of killing of creepers and a lot of... I could have gone out during the rain, really. That'd been a good idea. But I'm going to kill a lot of creepers and fish a lot of fish until I get a mending book and until I get enough fireworks to take me to the moon and back. So with that said, thank you very much for watching. You can't go to the moon in Minecraft, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.